In the previous section, we talked about transitions, and we actually placed some transitions in the video files. In this particular section, what I'd like to do is get more in depth into that effects controls panel. So we're going to throw up a bunch of transitions within the timeline, and we're going to kind of give a brief synopsis of some of the quick transitions that are available to you in terms of what you can control on each transition. So we're going to open up Project, and we're going to go to 6.2. This is going to give you a project that already has the videos edited, and you'll notice we don't have transitions in there yet, so we're going to pop transitions in there real quick. But we're also going to look at that effects channel too. So let's grab the, I guess they are looking at the cross dissolve. So let's go into video transitions, and again, make sure you're in your effects workspace. Go to workspace, say effects, and you'll get this menu that comes up automatically. We're going to go into dissolve, and we're going to grab the cross dissolve, and we are going to make a cross dissolve at the very beginning of the first clip. So I'm going to pop it right on the first clip. Let me zoom in so you can actually see the transition there. There's the transition. So basically going to cross dissolve into the picture. Let's go ahead and click on that cross dissolve piece, and you'll notice the effect controls are right there. I'll talk about this piece in a quick second. Let me minimize having a hard time with my real estate here. We want to show actual sources, and you'll see the start and the ends here. And what we're going to do is, if you look and see, if I pull on these handles, you'll actually see like the start. I don't have to actually cross dissolve from a jet black, which would be a black fade. Let's say I wanted to start the fade a little bit earlier, so I can drag that in. And then I wanted to kill it a little bit earlier too. And if you notice, you'll see these 41.4 and 46.8. Those are the start and stop points. And all I'm doing is changing the cross dissolve. Notice it doesn't change the duration of the cross dissolve. Basically, I'm changing the opacity of where it starts. So let's say I make that real quick change. Hit the home key, the CTI goes to the beginning of the movie, and let's see what happens. You'll notice already the cross dissolve, if I look over here in the program window, the cross dissolve does not start at a black. So if I hit the play, it's kind of a chunky cross dissolve. Just trying to show you the measurements here that you can change. So let's go back to where they would refer, and then I'll hit home, and you'll see it comes up as a nice fade and goes through and starts the movie. So that's just some pieces of the cross dissolve that you can look at in terms of that particular transition. Let's put in another one. Actually, I'm sorry. No, let's change this duration. They want us to change the duration just to see what that does. Let's pump that up to 3 and see what happens. So you'll notice the cross dissolve is a lot longer. I'm going to go to home. Ready. And it just takes a little bit longer for the cross dissolve to hit. Okay, so we are going to, looks like we're messing around with the push transition. Let's put the push transition in between the first and second. So we are going to go into slide transitions, slide. And now let me scroll down here. You've got push. So I'm going to drag push in between. Let me zoom out here real quick. There we go. We're going to put push in between the first and the second clips. Let me zoom in to make sure I've got it over the 2 spaces. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me zoom in even more. So we're gonna, yeah, there's my push, and it goes over both of the video clips, so I'm good there. Let's pull the CTI over. Let's see what it looks like.
Tonight.
Oh, sorry about the volume there. So we're going right to left on that one.
Tonight.
It's a rough transition because basically the other guy isn't saying anything. But that's okay. I'll click on push, and here are the effects controls for push. And you'll notice too, I mean, we kind of messed around with this before, but if I throw reverse in there, okay, now and then I go back, watch what happens. It's just going to reverse the way it pushes. Tonight! Which is probably the way we want to go. That looks a little bit better. The other thing we can try to do on the push sequence, let me make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see the whole sequence. We've got alignments in here. There's your durations. You're starting and end, your end points. But one of the things about push, you'll see over here, there's 4 little triangles around the push. Instead of going left to right or right to left, If I click on the top arrow, you'll notice it'll highlight when I go over it, or the bottom one will highlight. If I click on the top arrow, let's see what that does. Let me drag that back. Hit the space.
Tonight!
So you can actually control the direction in which the push happens, either top to bottom or left to right, which is kind of cool. Alrighty, let's move on. We got a wipe transition we're going to throw in here, and you'll be seeing me change these windows left and right here. I'm going to do this in the other section too, but I'm going to click off on this A/B editing timeline view just so that you can see the whole effects control panel a little bit better, and you can see it in its entirety on the left side. I'll come back to that A/B editing a little bit down the road here in the lesson. So we're going to throw a wipe transition in between the second and the third. So I'm going to slide over to the second and the third. I'm going to go into the wipe folder, and let's see which one. We are going to just put a general wipe in there. So let me scroll down here, and you got a general wipe. Let's throw a wipe in between the second and the third. Beautiful wipe transition. Let's see what that looks like. So I hit the space bar there.
This is no child.
Hey, it looks like Star Wars already right there, doesn't it? Let's look and see what we can do with the wipe transition. Now I'll select it, change the effects controls, and you can change a border color. You can change a border width. Let's change the border width. Let's bump that up to 20. So I put in 20 there, and let's go back here to the you hear your directionals, and you get even more directionals with the wipe transition. Let's go from a corner. Let's see what happens there. And then we've got the color. I could actually, let me change the border color. Let's put a little red in there, a little orange. Let's see what that looks like. So I'll pull this back. Let's see.
This is no child.
That's true Star Wars wipe now. That's looking pretty good. The other piece that they mess around with is the anti-aliasing quality. Let's put that up to high. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the difference there, but
this is no child.
Not that you saw a difference there, but anytime you have anti-aliasing, deals with smoothness and that kind of thing. The last transition we're going to place in here is something called an iris round, and we're going to put it at the very end of the movie. So let me slide that up. We'll get to the very end. Oh, there's a flip in there. We'll have to get rid of that. Let's go find the iris round. So I'm going to close down the wipe. Let me see where it is. Must be in the iris bin. Let me slide up here. There's iris. Iris round. And we're going to put that right over the flip. It's going to get rid of the that fade, that flip transition that we had in there. Let's pull that. Let's see what that looks like. So I hit the space bar.
The supplicants of the foot.
All right. So, whoops. We will zoom out and slide over. And you'll notice it just basically creates a circle and just kind of
supplicants of the foot
fades out from there. What we're going to do is change a bunch of things on this iris round. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on the iris round, pull down the effects controls. There's all kinds of stuff we can do here. First of all, I'm going to reverse. And you'll see what that does in a second. The other thing I'm going to do is, you'll notice the circle in between, right in the middle. That's basically the focus circle. So I'm going to put it right over his eye. Watch what happens here. So in essence, what I want to have happen is, it's going to, let me increase the duration here to 3 seconds. That'll be interesting. Let me pull it back and you'll see what happens. Keep in mind I moved the focus circle over his eyeball. So I'm going to hit the timeline.
No campaign of dominion. The supplicants of the foot.
Ooh, that's pretty eerie. It's a good little feature there. So I'll get back to A/B editing in a second, but you'll notice that, and again, extending that idea that every one of these video transitions has controls that you can change in the effects control panel. Pretty powerful stuff when you start thinking about all of the different transitions there are and all of the different things that you can change, like this one, in terms of changing where the focus eye ends at the end.